Welcome guys, I'm doing a bit more sealed today, probably the my last one. There's 13 hours left, and I've got to do very well in this one if I want to do it. If I wanted to get another one in, so I think this is number 8. I could be wrong, but let's just dive into it. I'm gonna just play best of one because unfortunately my PC's not been very reliable recently, so I can't trust it to survive a best of 3 match. So we're just going to do best of 1 for the moment. Okay, we have Azuri, Stalker of Spheres. Blue, green, and 2, 3/3. You can pay 3 when it enters the battlefield, and if you do, proliferate twice. Whenever you proliferate, draw a card. So for 7 mana, you play this, proliferate twice, and draw 2 cards. So yeah, pretty cool card draw engine for your proliferate deck. And we have Vindictive Flamestoker. I just had this in my last deck, so yeah, 1 mana red creature. 1/2 gets an all counter when you cast a non-creature spell every time. Sacrifice it for 7 mana to discard your hand and draw 4. Costs 1 less for each oil counter. Pretty straightforward, just really good card draw effect. Cheap creature. We have Monument to Perfection for 2 mana. Artifact. Looks like you tap for 3. Search your library for a basic, sphere, or locus land card. Reveal it, put it into your hand, then shuffle. You can do that every turn if you want. And then it's a 3 mana. Monument to Perfection becomes a 9/9 Phyrexian construct artifact creature. Lose all abilities and gains indestructible and Toxic 9. Activate only if there are 9 or more lands with different names among the basic sphere and locus lands you control. Okay, I was thinking that's a bit cheap, isn't it, for a 9/9, paying 3 mana activation. Okay, can we get to 9 or more lands with different names? Well, we don't have any artifact lands. Artifact lands? We don't have any rare lands, which is... So, I think that's going to be a tall order, I would say, unfortunately. Still, it's mana fixing. It's quite expensive mana fixing, but you get to dig land out of your deck every turn when it's out of the kind of mobilization phase of the game, when you've played everything and you're looking for the next, you're trying to top deck the next card. Right, down here we have Geth, Thane of Contracts. I've not seen this before. 2 black and 1. It's a Phyrexian zombie. 3/4. 3/4 for 3 mana. That's not bad. Other creatures you control get -1/-1. Ah, that's a bit of a drawback. That's probably why I haven't seen people play this. 2 black and 1 tap. Return target creature card from your graveyard to the battlefield. Ooh, that's nice. It gains if this creature would leave the battlefield, exile it instead of putting it anywhere else. Activate only as a sorcery. So it shrinks all of your other creatures, but you can tap it and reanimate a creature every turn for 3 mana at sorcery speed. Interesting card. Not sure we play it. I'm familiar with this chap, Jin Gataxius, Progress Tyrant, 2 blue and 5. It's from Kamigawa Neon Dynasty. As we've established, all the Phyrexians from previous sets, the most recent sets in Standard, are available. So he's a 5/5 for 7 mana. Whenever you cast an artifact, instant, or sorcery spell, copy that spell, and you can choose new targets for the copy. Only triggers once a turn. Whenever an opponent casts an artifact, instant, or sorcery spell, counter that spell. This ability triggers only once a turn. It's a ridiculously good card. Let's put it like that. We have Slowbad, the Iron Goblin. 3/3 for 3 mana, so it's a good rate. Tap it, sacrifice an artifact, add an amount of red mana equal to the sacrificed artifact's mana value. Spend this mana only to cast artifact spells or activate abilities of artifacts. Kind of need some good artifacts for this to make sense, but it's still 3/3 for 3, decent filler, curve filler. So it's looking like maybe blue, red, green. Probably not black. I don't think Geth seems a little bit counterproductive. You need the right kind of deck for this to work. Right, we're not. I don't think that we'd kind of like to play Jin Gitaxis. I notice looking at blue, we only have 1 page of cards, which is not a good start. This is a good one though. But let's go back and start in white, and I'm gonna sort through the cards. So I'm gonna using the BREAD acronym. So that's B for bombs, R for removal, E for evasion, A for aggro, D for dross. We're only going to pay attention to the first 3, the bombs, removal, evasion. Yeah, so skip past your crawling chorus. Bladed Ambassador can be indestructible. That's good value. We're going to stretch the definition of evasion to things that get to not die. So we'll include that. Infested Flesh Cutter. So this is a really great equipment that makes a might every time equipped creature attacks. Lovely card. Jawbone Duelist. We'll, include that because, double strike is like evasion. It's hard for your opponent to deal with. 2 on lifelink. This one's quite good, but we don't want to include every single thing. In fact, let's not include that one. Planar Disruption is removal, and this Resistance Reunited is a combat trick. Charge of the Mites. We get 2 of those. 2 removal cards, and then with 2 evasion creatures, 2 flyers here. Leonin, a Lightbringer. This guy's a bit of a headache. He's Ward 2, difficult to deal with him, expensive to deal with him. And then we get the Bardiche with it's a 4/3 for 5, but you get 2 things. You get a token and you get an artifact equipment, so it's pretty good value, even so. But not a huge amount of white. You've got these 3 removal cards. We've got the Flesh Cutter, which is pretty exciting. Let's look at blue. There's this Aspirant's Ascent combat trick. Got Surgical Skull Bomb. I think we include this. It's sort of a removal card. It bounces something. Ica Synthesizer can be unblockable, so we like that. This is flying, we like that. This just gives people poison. That's quite useful. It's sort of direct. It's like direct damage. It's like, well, it's what you call a win condition card, but it doesn't affect the board state. So I think it's a filler card. I think it's definitely great for the deck because it's basically a cantrip. We'll come back to that. Distorted Curiosity, good for the poison deck. Yeah, come back to that as well. Meldweb Curator. I like this. It's gives you a bit of. It's not card advantage. It's card selection. So you're choosing the next card you're going to draw from instants and sorceries in your graveyard. So I think that's. I like that. I think that's pretty good. We have the Meldweb Strider. So this is effectively 5/5 vigilance. So it's just a big creature. And then we've got Jinkataxis, who is amazing. And Azuri is pretty fantastic as well. But it's not a lot to write home about in blue either, I would say. So we're hoping black, red and green are absolutely stacked with things, because I'm not sure either of these colours are all that playable. I suppose we've skipped past a few filler things we can that are playable, but I'm just not excited about them. Black looks like it might be pretty stacked. There's a lot of black cards here, so let's get through these. We have first of all, two Annihilating Glares. So this is sorcery speed. It's one of these sacrifice a creature to destroy something for 1, or pay 5 to destroy something. Absolutely fantastic removal spell. Big fan of Bilious Skull Dweller, cheap death touch, like that. Big fan of Anoint with Affliction, great removal spell. Big fan of Drowning Ica, another great removal spell. So that's 4 removal spells and a death touch already. Black is looking strong, I've got to say. Okay, Fleshless Gladiator, yeah. Pretty good. Can come back from the graveyard if you've got to Corrupted. We don't include this though. Necrogen Communion gives Toxic 2. Creature comes back when it dies. Interesting, but it's risky because it's an aura. Your opponent can respond with instant speed removal and get a 2-for-1 when you're trying to cast this on something. Offer Immortality. I think this is a really good combat trick that's probably worth playing. Even we might play one of these. I'm going to include both of these actually. I think this is really good. Then we've got Bone Picker Scourge, which is a flyer, so we include that. 3 Cutthroat Centurions. It's a sacrifice outlet, but I am not excited about this at all. Yeah, skip that. Geth, Thane of Contracts. Right, we have to sort of figure out, can we actually play this? It will kill our Bilious Skull Dweller. It does not get on with other things in our deck, potentially. So, very interesting card. We've got to consider it. Infectious Inquiry. Again, this is draw 2, lose 2 life. Opponent gets poison counter. It's pretty good. I'd put it in the filler kind of department. I think I'm not excited to play it. Stinging Hive Master, yeah, just a good value creature, leaves behind a might when it dies. Ravenous and Necro Titan, that sounds good. 4 mana, 6/6. I see. When he enters the battlefield, sacrifice a creature unless an opponent has 3 or more poison counters. Goes well with things like the Fleshless Gladiator that can come back. Very interesting. But we kind of have to build a deck around this thing. I think we leave it out for the moment. Shoulder's Head Cleaver's just good because it's got Menace. Cruel Grimnarch. Yeah. Big nasty thing. But not a reason to play black, I would say. So after looking through black, we had quite a few. Yeah, we've decided there's 10 sort of pretty viable cards, including Geth. Okay. Then we look at red. Right, Fuseling has evasion. It's got trample. So technically we include that. Looks like it ought to have haste, really, doesn't it? But it does not. The Flame Stoker, as we know, is very good indeed. That can potentially draw you 4 cards. Axiom Engraver is worth including because it's early sort of mana fixing. Good blocker as well early on. Aspirant has Menace, so that's worth a nod. Forge Hammer Centurion can stop things from blocking, so that's like evasion. Not that I don't think I've hardly ever used this ability. It hardly ever survives, but let's include it. Furnace Punisher has Menace. I'm seeing a lot of Menace in red. I think that's pretty good. Rebel Salvo is removal. Slowbad Iron Goblin is just a good value creature, 3/3 for 3. So we just skip that actually. Anointer is great because it can actually kill something when it comes into play, based on oil things. Martial Splitter is just a 4/2 creature. It's giving you the equipment, the 4 Mirrodin value. You get the token, you get the equipment. So that's worth thinking about. Furnace Strider has haste, can give other things haste. Pretty scary when you see this on the other side of the board. I think this is actually quite good. I think haste is a form of evasion. We've got 2 Molten Rebukes, which is pretty good. Removal, 5 mana, 5 damage. And then the Exceeder Finisher has Trample, which makes him an evasion creature. So consider him as well. 14 red cards we've added. Yeah, we just, because everything had Menace, technically, or stop strings from blocking. They all get added. So we like red. Green. Not so many green cards. Predation Steward. An oil creature. We'll come back to that. The Spore Singer, 2/2 Vigilance, can pump something, proliferate. I think this is pseudo evasion. It pumps something else. That thing also gets Vigilance, so it makes something very, much harder to deal with. I think that's quite good. Canopy is removal. I think it's playable. This is just an oversized creature. It's going to be basically 5/4 Vigilance. It's pretty hard to deal with, I think. I think it's just bigger than... it's just too big to deal with a lot of the time. Plague Nurse is quite good. I guess it technically doesn't have... evasion. We'll just leave that there for the moment. The Oil Gorger Troll is just good value. It's for the oil deck. It can help you draw cards. Sky Scything Golfer has Reach and Trample. I like both of those things. That's my idea of a decent big creature. And then Tyvar Stand gives you Hexproof Indestructible +X/+X, so it can actually finish the game as well. That seems like a really good combat trick to me. I think we include that. And then we have 1 Terramorphic Expanse. Dune Move is great. That mana fixes for you. Monument to Perfection. Don't know about this though. We're not gonna get 9 lands with different names, right? I don't think it's possible. Well, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, we could just about do it. If we don't pop our Terramorphic Expanse, we could do it. Interesting. have to play one of each basic land. Sounds like a very, very silly idea. If you've got Terramorphic Expanse in your opening hand, you might want a mulligan. Yeah, I don't think it's going to happen. So anyway, let's just double check everything right. Basically, it's 5 mana to search for a land, isn't it? Oh, sorry, it's 4 mana into. No, it's 2 to cast, 3 to activate. I think it's probably unplayable. I don't think you have that much mana to spare when you look for your stuff. I want to try and get a better look at it, actually. Yeah, okay. No, not playable. This is good. This is good mana fixing. This guy scries, and yeah, this searches for other Mir cards. So, let's think about mono red, because I've got a lot of red cards. But you need let's be realistic. You need 23 cards for a deck. We've got 14. We can add these. That's 17. Add the artifacts. We need 6 artifacts. 1, 2. Yeah, there's only these 2 as well. Maybe 4. Okay, well we could play the Skull Bomb because we can just sacrifice it and draw a card. Would mono red be good? Is the question though. We'd only get 3 2-drops, including the Dune Mover. Probably it's another silly idea. But we'll cut white and cut blue. Let's just remind ourselves what else we're missing out on. We have some okay kind of aggro filler, I would say. 2 drops, 3 drops. In blue, yeah, we've got the spells, card draw things. Okay, let's cut the blue things. Cut white. I was pretty excited about black, wasn't I? 2 Annihilating Glare, Light with Affliction, Drown in Ichor to offer immortality. Yep, black seems good. Maybe we don't play Geth, we'll just cut him. Red has also got a removal card there. So black provides some sort of 2 mana removal things. That is a combat trick. And then red supplies some solid 3-drop creatures. And a couple, or maybe just 1 more removal card. And a couple of rebukes. What about green? What else have we missed from green? Okay, they've got 1/2 drop in green. Yeah, I think green is nice, but it doesn't have the right curve fillers. Black can anoint it with Infliction or drown in Ichor on turn 2, which could be quite useful. It's got a good 1 drop as well. So I think for that reason we don't play green. Oops. Then we've nearly got a deck. That makes life easier when you just cut 3 colours and it's about 40 cards. I accidentally cut something. Well, I'll try and figure out what it is. And we've got some interesting other options to consider, like Ravenous Necrotitan. 2 of them, no less. Yeah, we cut the Furnace Strider by accident. So yeah, 42 of 40 cards. We cut Prophetic Prism. We're only doing 2 colours. I do like this combat trick, but I think we'll cut both of them. If we're making a Geth deck, we drop all of the 1 toughness things, which would be, I guess, these 2, the Dune Mover. Okay, let's make a Geth deck. Let's drop that, drop the Dune Mover. See what it looks like. Right. Stinging Hive Master, Fleshless Gladiator, and then we can play Ravenous Necrotitan. That's a 3/3 menace. I think it beats the 2/3 menace that works with equipment, unless. Yeah, that's quite an expensive card. I don't know how much equipment are we playing. If we drop the 2 equipment cards, have a look. Yeah, I think we're playing 0 equipment. We'll cut those equipment cards. We do have, that's right, we have Volshock splitters if we want them. We'll just see what. Oh, we kind of, we're a bit weak in the 2-drop slot here. I think I might just put the Bilious Skull Dweller back in. But it doesn't make sense, does it? That is just a 3/3. So we don't really have another 2-drop apart from the Dune Mover. Okay, maybe Geth just isn't going to work. Let's cut Geth, Dune Mover back in, Bilious Skull, Dweller back in. We've got an exuberant fuseling as well. Right, I think what I'll do is I'll call that end of part 1, and we'll have a think about how to trim this down by 1 card. Suspect Ravenous Necrotitan might not be a great idea, but yeah, I'll definitely need a bit more time to think about this. Yeah, so end of part 1. Thanks for watching. Welcome, guys. So as you can tell, I've changed the deck quite a lot. We've kept black. Let me just pop Shouldred's Head Cleaver back in the deck. We've kept the black part, and I've dropped red for white. And the reason for this, white has some quite strong 2-drops. So we left these out initially because we were just looking at bombs, removal, evasion. We weren't paying attention to the aggro part, which is usually 1, 2, and 3 drops. And I think this is going to work. This is going to work really well with our deck. We're also adding 3 removal spells, so Planar Disruption and 2 Charge of the Mites. And the other thing, we can play the Infested Flesh Cutter, so this makes mites. Crawling Chorus also makes a mite when it dies. I think, yeah, we have a Stinging Hive Master also makes a mite when it dies. So we've got a source of extra creatures, which makes sense when we're trying to play the Ravenous Necro Titan, which you may have to probably have to sacrifice something when you play this. I was just thinking about 6/6 creatures in general. I think it's probably going to be pretty good, right? Against certain decks. So against red, for example, their best removal spell tops out at 5 damage. This is a problem for red. It'll dodge a few other things, like Drown in Ichor doesn't do quite enough to kill this. It can go toe to toe with quite a lot of the big green creatures. We know the big red creature is a 7/5, so it's at least going to trade off with a lot of the big creatures. Our problems are going to be, getting through cheap death touches, for example, and the worst thing is actually probably the bounce spell when we don't have corrupted up, and so we're having to sack another creature if we want to replay it. So blue could be a bit of a nightmare, especially if they've got the control magic effect, Blue Sun's Twilight. But a 6/6 on turn 4 is, I think that's pretty serious. I think that's going to be a net asset for us. I think definitely worth playing. But that's our top end is going to be these 3/4 drops. We're not going bigger than that. I could cut it down to 16 land, but I'm very wary about doing that. We have a Dune Mover to help dig out a land in an emergency. You could kind of pretend that this is your 17th land and then go down to 16 land. But I've had several bad experiences going down to 16 lands, so I'm not going to do it. We do have a 3-mana card draw spell, but it's usually you brick on the 2-lander, and you don't. So this a 3-mana card draw spell isn't all that helpful for fixing that. So we stick with 17 lands, but we're pretty low to the ground. And I've counted, we've got 7 removal spells in the deck. What we're missing, actually, we're not playing any of our bomb rares. let me look at. I'll show you the rares again. They're in red, I think. Red and blue. Blue was very weak. Red, the Goblin isn't interesting at all. It's just a 3/3 for 3. The Flamestoker's pretty good. Pretty good. You can draw lots of cards with it. Decided Monument to Perfection's probably just unplayable. Yeah, you can spend a bunch of mana, dig lots of land out, but in a tight game, you don't have the mana to do that. You can't get away with that. So it's kind of maybe a win more card when you're in a kind of stalemate situation. You can go, right, spending all my mana, digging all my land out of my deck gradually. But I don't think it's going to work, and we're not going to turn it into the 9/9 creature because we'd have to play one of every basic land. We've got there's a blue-green creature that's pretty cool, but yeah, blue, as we say, blue was pretty weak. I think green was missing 2 drops. Yeah, so, and then I'm not playing Geth, Thane of Contracts, which is the black rare, because yeah, it's got this huge disadvantage. Other creatures get -1/-1. We want to play our 1 toughness creatures. We want to play the Dune Mover. We want to play the Bilious Skull Dweller because that's great. 1/1 Death Touch is fantastic. We want to play the Chorus, and we want to make mites. We want to play this one. Everything's got 1 toughness, so this is a horrible card, unfortunately, for the deck. But it's got an amazing ability. You can imagine games where you've just got sort of big creatures. You're discarding things and reanimating. That would probably make sense if we had a discard effect, discarding the Jin Gitaxis and reanimating it with this guy. It all falls apart if this guy gets blown up, of course. So it's but you can imagine that could be quite cool, but it's just going to be hopeless in this deck. So we can't play it. So we're playing 0 rares and going for just Orzhov aggro, and I think I did this in my first sealed as well. Sometimes the rares just don't pan out. So I'm gonna, before I jump into the games, I'm just gonna do a last minute check. I've had some technical issues yesterday. Right, my core temperature about 54 degrees C. I'm gonna risk it. I think if it gets to 60 degrees before you even start playing, then that's a problem. Right, but I had 2 crashes yesterday. I've now cleaned out the inside of the computer with a toothbrush, taken some dust off the fans and off the power sink. So that seems to improve performance a fair bit. Okay, right. Opening hand. This is a keep because Dune Mover fixes the hand and means we can top deck a planes on turn 3 guaranteed. We've got a really good equipment. We've got another 2-drop, another 3-drop, and we've got a Necro Titan, but we don't have anything we want to sacrifice to the Necro Titan. We're looking for the Creeping Chorus would be ideal. Okay, we have a tap land, but we don't want to play that. We've got to play a swamp, play a Dune Mover, put the plains on top. This is 2 to cast, 3 to equip, so it's kind of expensive, but incredibly good when it gets going. Okay, he has a 1/1. Well, there's obviously we have to play the plains. This gives a toxic creature +1/+1, so he will no longer be able to trade when we attack with this, so obviously that is what we do. go creature or the flesh cutter next turn. This guy's just another 2/1 creature, so okay, there's an annihilating glare. If we attack with both, he'll probably trade June move this for June Mover and draw a card. If we top deck a land, an untapped land next turn, and we've played this already, we can equip it and play a Justica. I'll tell you what. Yeah, that's a good point. The Justiciar. Except this needs. If we can top deck a planes next turn, we can play this and equip it. I'm going to play the Justiciar, I think, and I'm just going to attack with this Raptor. We found the Annihilating Glare, which is quite nice. Because this can attack as a 3/2 next turn. He can trade with this one, but importantly, he can't just trade off with this guy. So that seems quite good. Okay, he's got the Rib Skiff now. He draws a card, which is nice for him. It can be crewed with both of these guys. So maybe I can't attack on the ground. He's attacking, okay. And this thing reduces power according to until end of turn. So we'll get to attack with this. And do I want to trade with my June Mover? Yes, because there's no way there isn't an organic way of this pumping up. So I am going to trade like that. It's less crew for his Rib Skiff as well. I think that's a good trade. We've actually hit an untapped plains. Absolutely fantastic. So we can Flesh Cutter. We can equip Flesh Cutter and put it on the Justiciar, so we get more life points. And it gets pumped again, because that's an artifact creature, the Might. Yeah, he's going to trade off there, and I gain 6 life. He draws a card. He's got loads of cards now. He's drawn 1 off this, she's drawn 1 off this, so and 5 mana. And he's corrupted as well. We don't even need to sacrifice a creature with this. Oh, he's gonna draw even more cards. Vivid Surgeon's Insight. I wonder, can he afford to do that? He's probably looking for his bomb. He might have a board sweeper. There is. I've just experienced White Sun's Twilight in my last sealed last game. So we have a really good board position. I think probably no need to play the Necrotitan here. Because he could have that, literally have that board sweeper. I'm gonna do 7 damage, add 3 poison. Threaten to add 4 poison next turn. In fact, sorry, 8 damage, because this is an amazingly good combo as well. So we'll end the turn there. That my mistake, that was only 2 poison. So we're gonna get him to 8 poison next turn. Assuming his life total holds out. He's got 6 mana. What's the worst thing he can do? Okay, he's just got Mirren Bardiche. That's not going to cut it. But, wow, Wow, we found a really incredible combo of these two cards. He's got 2 blockers. Yeah, this is the big thing. That's obviously going to get through. So I'll get through with 3 damage. That's getting crude. I'm not sure you wanted to do that. He's going to hit me. Okay, that's fair. Okay, my turn. Yeah. Full cost thing. Remove his blocker and get in. Good. 1 win on the board. Off the mark. So before that game, it was CPU was 54 degrees. We're gonna just have a little check. After that game, it is now 60 degrees, 58 degrees. So it's cooling down a little bit. I think we can get away with another game. Let's go for it. To be honest, I think it was 61 degrees yesterday when it crashed. When I checked it before the game. So I might be pushing my luck a little bit here. But we could let the computer cool down for 10 minutes between each game. Okay, we're going first. We have a 2-lander, but we've got creature and a removal spell. We've got a 3-drop. If we do get 1 more land, I think we can get away with this. I think we can. We've got plains and swamps, so okay, that is the ramp card. Metamorphic Expanse, good. We have a 3rd land that is going to be usable on turn 4. We'll play our aggressive creature here. We may not be able to do anything next turn, but that's okay. Green. I have seen a mono green deck before in Sealed in this set. Metamorphic Expanse. We'll go ahead and use this now and get a swamp. We just swing in. And a good point, I just realised Flensing Raptor can't pump any of my... Can't pump either of these creatures, so... that's a little problem for us. But I think we play it anyway on curve. Okay, here's a 3rd forest. So, yeah, let's acknowledge I'm lucky to top deck the 3rd land. I would still quite like a 4th land. It's getting exiled. I'm getting poisoned. So he's looking for his island. He is blue-green then. So, I mean, he's got this. This is a good draw for him to help him ramp things out. Okay, he's got copper long legs. Now we can. Oh, nice. Yeah, this is the move. We can play Dune Mover. It's just 2 mana. We can find another land. It pumps this guy to 3/2. we'll still have 1 mana to make this guy indestructible. I think that is the move. And next turn we can wrap to the Dune Mover. That seems like the move. Good top deck, I've got to say. I'm going to get another Plains, because we've got 2 swamps. And this is, yeah, the aggro part of the deck doing its thing. So probably Justicar won't be able to attack next turn. Okay, he's got his island. He's not doing anything, which is suspicious. He doesn't have double blue for the counter spell. I think this is the Flensing Raptor turn. So we'll just hold the Justiciar back. Keep calling it Justicar. Oh, my mistake. There is a counterspell for 1 blue and 1. That's fair enough. And he gets to proliferate. Sad times for me there. I'm at 2 poison now. Yeah, we could Annihilating Glare. Maybe sack the Justiciar, get through with 1 poison and 5 damage. But I'm not going to do that. I'll just attack with the Ambassador. Just keep my options open next turn. Now, what would be nice if we could get an artifact into play, and then we've got 8 power on the board. We can sort of we can threaten lethal. That's going to draw a card for him. Yep, makes sense. But it looks like we're not going to get to corrupted. That's at 3/3 now. It says when it enters play, you have to sacrifice a creature. This thing. So, okay, that can blow up artifacts. That can, of course, blow up my planar disruption, which is not good. But it takes, yeah, it takes a 3/2 creature off his side of the board, so we're probably okay with that. Right, so I think we just keep swinging him with Bladed Ambassador, because he doesn't have a great block here. And we'll hold back our planar disruption for the moment. delighted if he blocks with copper long legs. Now, the little issue here potentially, he has an instant speed response to me giving this indestructible. But realistically, we don't have any other option. We'll have to just eat that up if that's what happens. Interesting. That guy survives, and he's going to be a 3/5 creature now. I'm not going to use a removal spell here. I think I'm going to play Fleshless Gladiator. Just build up the board a little bit. But you see, that counter spell on the Raptor was absolutely key, I think. Oh well, he did have, because he's got this blocker for that, but then I can always take that out. That's taking me to 3 poisons. That's a crucial moment for him. If he's got that blue card draw spell, this could be excellent. Plays an island, draws 2 more cards, maybe. I'm just going to check on my CPU temperature. 65, yeah. For being in-game, that's probably about right, as long as it's not getting to 70. I'd love it if he blows up, just decides to blow up one of these artifacts. That would be amazing. Ravenous. Decent creature. We've hit 5 mana. We can do a full cost Annihilating Glare here. The copper longlegs might be a really good target. I could do double removal if I sacrifice a creature. So if I want to sacrifice maybe my Fleshless Gladiator, for example, that could be good. Or, yeah, so that would... but that would mean this guy gets to sacrifice and take out the Planar Disruption. So I don't know if that's the best course of action. Okay, I'm going to play the Ravenous Necrotitan, build up the board a bit more, sacrifice the Gladiator. He might have a bounce spell for the Necrotitan because he's playing blue, which would make me feel terrible. But we have to just take that on the chin if that happens, I think. Yeah, it's not an artifact. So good. He drew a land. 1 card still in hand. He's got some big beefy boys now. So he's still got a pretty good block because he can So yeah, I can't take out like both of these. This guy can always sacrifice to take out my disruption. Are we happy just trading the Necrotitan for a 3/5 or a 3/4? And how much havoc can we just go for? Well, we can only... This costs... I don't want to sacrifice a creature for this. I think we're just attacking with the Necrotitan and maybe just trading it off for a Plague Nurse. It's not particularly inspiring, but... I'll just see what if he's got some interaction in his hand. He could even block with these two. I think I'd be very happy with that trade if he wants to keep his high toughness guys on the board. Okay, he's going for that. Wonderful. That's better than I hoped. Good trade. We'll play our Death Toucher here. And I think we could set up the win here, I think, because we want to spend 5 mana on this next turn. I think we'll play in our Disruption. Here's Copper Longlegs or Plague Nurse. Let's play in our Disruption a Plague Nurse. Probably should have played that first in case there's a... I don't really know my counter spells in this set well enough. I think there's one... It mana sinks for 2, I think. Let's end the turn there. Okay, another land. Ruthless Predation takes that out. But that dies, of course, yeah. Well, it had pacifism anyway. He thinks he can attack, does he? Bold move. I'll take 3. He didn't want to attack. I'm gonna attack with everything. No need to use the glare just yet. I believe I'll play our planes and end the turn. Yeah. That's quite nice. He built up a defense there and kind of stopped my early momentum. We just had to kind of pick a way through. And then the crucial bit was when he used the Canker Bloom to trade off with the Necrotitan. I thought he would try and trade off the Plague Nurse. Right, we'll just do a little PC health check again. Okay, the core's at 61 degrees. I think I'm just going to do a safety break and let it cool down for a bit. So, see you momentarily. Thanks for watching so far. And I'm back after a little break. So, the CPU temperature, let's just check it. 50 degrees. Seems okay. We get concerned if it gets to 60. So let's play another one. just run Sea Cleaner on the machine, and I apparently had 63,000 tracking programs or cookies and things. Probably been a little while since I ran Sea Cleaner. Bit worried I'd have to remember all my passwords and things like that, but seemed to get straight into Arena, so that was good. Right. Here we go. It's all planes. We do have 2 drop followed by Flensing Raptor. That's really good. So that would be 4 damage getting through on turn 3 potentially. This is not good because it's double black. We're 2 swamps away from casting this, but this will draw us into more, maybe the second swamp if we can draw the first swamp. I think it's good. It's good enough. Yep, 2 drop and a 3 drop. It's not bad. I don't think you can turn your nose up at that. Okay, we've got another planes. Not ideal. Not quite what we were looking for. Yeah, we are just going to do this one. Even though he's obviously going to beat the Justiciar. 1-on-1. We just don't have better options at the moment. So, yeah, we might be bricking on swamps here. Oh, he's got the really good one that goes really well with the Justiciar. This is an absolute menace with this card, and I would quite happy. I'm going to quite happily trade off here. And then he's got nothing to equip it to, unless he plays something. We've hit our Justiciar, which is very nice. So let's get in there. We will get him to 4 poison. And we're a little bit up in terms of board state, and this costs 3 to equip. It's hard for him to find the mana to do that and kind of keep his defenses up. So let's recap here. So we've got another good aggro creature. So we don't want to just lose this guy, but this can trade and this can trade, so I think that's good. This is not an artifact, so I won't play him pre-combat. He's going to go to 6 poison if he doesn't block that. Starting to get a bit hairy for him. And we've had a pretty good rollout even without hitting a swamp. Now, you can equip this and attack for 5 and make a might. The might can't block, and that would cost him 3 mana. Only leaves 2 mana for another blocker. What he needs is a nice big threatening blocker that I can't attack through. That will do it. That will do it. It's a 5/5 first strike. You do have to discard a card every turn, and you destroy target non-land permanent and opponent controls with mana value less than or equal to the mana value of the discarded card. So lands won't kill any of my guys, but so you'll have to sort of get rid of useful cards to blow up my things. That is exactly what the doctor ordered for him, I would say. And then he can... Okay, he's not going to attack with that. He wants to have 2 blockers. That's fair enough. My turn. We're not going to hit that swamp, are we? So, he would definitely wants to take out the duelist. This could trade with a Justiciar, and I'd get through with 3 damage. It's not worth attacking. And we'll just see if he starts blowing up my things by discarding cards. In the long run, this could be quite expensive for him, because all of my guys are kind of expendable. We'll see what he's discarding. Oh, he's missing missing that. I see. Yeah, that's dead. And that's replaced with a might. So isn't that nice? We've we've not hit a swamp, and he can't hit a mountain. Oh, but he's got a nice equipment guy, so that will automatically equip that, I'm guessing. And that goes to 4/3. That's a bit more of a beater, but he might want to put that on the flyer, to be honest. I think that's what he's thinking about. Oh, and that gets to 6/3 as well. So suddenly he has some big, nasty creatures. So it's definitely turned against me this game. We have a black mana source. It is tapped, but that is pretty big for us. If we just chucked everything at him, yeah, Duelist goes down. Probably the Justiciar will get through with 1 poison and 3 damage. He might want to, yeah, he might want to not get any more poison. He might let these 2 through. I've got an extra poison in my hand. I think it's not worth doing, and the swing back is absolutely brutal here because he's got 15 power on the board. He wins very, very quickly. So we've got to be defensive. Everything's a removal card. Okay, right. Charge of the Mites kills that one. Fair enough. It could obviously do that anyway, but gets to do it for free. So it's a good way of, you know, building, gaining tempo. I think we might lose this one. Okay, yeah, 5/5 first strike. Not a huge amount I can do about that. We're going to Infectious Inquiry. So I can use my oil token, block this, make this indestructible. That saves me 5 damage. I'm going to say that that's a reasonable thing to do now. This doesn't proliferate, does it? Oh, and he can make cat tokens. That's the other very scary thing. So he's got 2 quite powerful rares that are just going to destroy me here. We're on 14 life. That's guaranteed 4 damage. That's 5 damage. So it's looking like we're chump blocking this turn. There's no way we can get through. We can try and draw. We can either play a chump blocker that leaves a mite behind, He's actually a good blocker for Kemba. Chances are he will be able to blow up Bladed Ambassador. Then I've not got a good block against Kemba. So I simply may not have time to do Infectious Inquiry here. I've only got one chomp blocker. But we could try and draw something amazing. I think let's try and draw something amazing. We drew a swamp, and we've drawn Charge of the Mites. Okay, we can do 3 damage to something. So we can take out Kemba. Let's do that right now, because he is going to be a menace. He's just going to keep making creatures. So the swing back here is 10 damage, so we survive. This can trade here. This can get through for 3 damage. This can do another poison counter. I think we go aggressive now. Probably my best chance of winning. Okay, little problem. 8, 9, 10 plus that is 12, but we're gaining 2 life off the Justiciar. So I think we can do this. He can obviously block the Might. I will do him 5 damage. Maybe don't attack with the Might, because that's an easy block for him, just to block the Might. He's going to trade with the Ambassador, get through with 2, and I gain 2. Okay, he has to discard. Oh, yeah, brilliant. He can kill the Might by discarding a land because it's 0 cost. That's pretty smart. Yeah, okay, that's 11 damage. Okay. Good news, we can play a Ravenous Necrotitan without sacrificing a creature. Bad news. Okay, we have to attack with this to gain life, so we don't die to the Rebel. We've got 7 mana. We can go Necrotitan Hive Master or Necrotitan Fleshless Gladiator might be more to the point. Any of these artifacts? No. So I'm going to have to swing with a Justiciar just to stay alive. Puts me on 5. Play this guy. It's going to threaten his life total a bit. And this is going to be my chomp blocker for his huge creature. And he can just put the flying on this creature and win if he realizes. That is going to blow up a Necrotitan. Nice. Just attacking. Okay. Well, we have to block this then. See, he could have made that flying. This doesn't have trample, does it? No. We take 4. Oh, Anoint with Affliction. That is a big hit to get. Right, attack with this gets us to 3 life. Yeah, we have to attack with this. We don't have an artifact to pump him up. Play another chomp blocker. So we have to anoint with Affliction whatever he decides to give flying to, I believe. And yes, we could exile the Masticore here straight away, but then this flies in and just wins anyway, so it doesn't achieve very much. We'll end the turn there. Yep, end the turn. As long as that's an instant, yes. Yep, okay, he's dead. Fair enough. So, we do have a problem now. Now we are dead, unfortunately. Yeah, I guess... Well, we were gambling that he didn't have more cards to kill that with. Okay, that's a very nice move for us. We're dead anyway, too, if he attacks with everything. Okay, so we can anoint with Affliction, and that's about it. Good game though. We had a good start, but we ran into, you know, what the problems an aggro deck can have. Your opponent just stabilizes the situation with big creatures. You don't draw your removal to get through them. They just take over. The big creatures take over the game. Right, let's do a little CPU check. Ooh, a bit worrying. It's at 60 degrees now. But I'm going to go ahead and risk another game. I may have cause to regret this decision. But I think after this game we'll definitely have another pause and let the CPU cool down. Okay, we've got 3 lands, 2 of them are tap lands. Dune Mover can put a 4th land on the top if we want, and then we'll be good for our 4 mana creature if we happen to get it. Let's keep 7. Yes, let's keep 7. So Terramorphic Expanse or Dross Pits is the first question. Terramorphic Expanse gives you a choice. Dross Pits does not, so we play the Dross Pits first. Cool, we've top decked Plains. We do not need to grab a land. We have literally all the land we need here. And next turn we want to play the Plains, so we can play our 3-drop. He's got a Voidwing Hybrid, however. So I think the best way to deal with this thing is pacifism. I think we pacifism it right now. And then we can play our tap land. That'll slow down his acquisition of poison counters. I'll give him a poison counter. Seems good to me. So I will go ahead and go for another swamp. Dig a land out of the deck. And he had no follow-up, but he could have the Chrome Cat. That's what I'm thinking. I predict a Chrome Cat this turn. We can do double spell next turn, so we want to play a 3-drop creature here. Is it a Chrome Cat? It might be a counterspell, of course. I think I want him to... I'd rather he countered the Hive Master. Okay, Nothing. Okay, let's swing in. No chrome cats. Okay, play the swamp. I think there's a 2 mana power sink counter spell. I think I want to. I'd rather he countered the Justiciar here. I want to try and resolve my card draw card. Cool. That's very good indeed. And we'll play it as Justiciar. So he'll get 2 poison next. Yeah, we've got him. Okay, nice. And we didn't crash, which is a bonus. Do we get greedy? Do we go for another one? Let's just check. Okay, CPU down to 56, 57. I say we're good to go. Next one. So really, he only had Voidwing Hybrid that game, turn 2. Good, Plains and Swamp. We've got a couple of 2-drops, we've got removal and more removal. That seems good to me. And we'll lead with the Justiciar because we want to keep 1 mana up when we've got a Bladed Ambassador, of course. Right. Fleshless Gladiator. Right, we could exile that straight away. But no, I'm going to Justiciar. He's got 3 colours. Oh, Skitterfang. Good one. Not attacking. Now we could play our 3-drop. We could play our Hive Master. I think build up the board first and then think about removal later. Because obviously he's had a really good opening, 1, 2, and 3. We're not gonna run over this guy. Okay, he's got a little flyer. He's down to 1 card. Oh, we have a nice equipment there. Okay. Right. We can't do anything about his flyer. We can either remove that. Yeah, if we kill it, comes back with Raised Dead. We could exile it, but we'd like to exile Fleshless Gladiator. I think we just planar disruption his flyer. That to obviously slow down the poison token. We can't do anything else. It doesn't feel great, but maybe it's the right call here. Because I'm missing flyers at the moment. And if he's got a sacrifice effect, then he'll be laughing. He can, of course, use this thing. Flensing Raptor, also another good flyer. So, yeah, he's got ahead of me here. He hit 4 land. Right, there's my 4th land. So, and he's going to build up poison a little bit. Now this guy can give this guy flying. I think maybe we want to exile the Skitterfang. This has got flying as well, and is a problem. And anything we kill is coming back with Raised Dead. If we kill something with Charge of the Mites, for example. But this has got limited uses. This is just going to hit me every single turn. I think we could do Anoint with Affliction and maybe a Bladed Ambassador. It's risky. This can get obviously blown up if I do that. But I'd rather he uses removal on that. Or I could do an Infested Flesh Cutter. But we're getting a little bit overrun on the ground, I think, here. So I want another body on the ground, even if it's going to get blown up. He will trade Fleshless Gladiator quite happily for either of these, and I don't think it's a good trade. So 2 flyers down. He has Slaughter Singer as well. That's going to get flying. So the danger of Slaughter Singer gives all of his toxics +1/+1. So this yeah, that becomes a 3/2. They sort of start trading up. They become difficult for me to block. Yeah, so he can spend 3 mana to bring this back, but I think I want to do Charge of the Mites on this. Or we could use it to just stop one of his attacks with this guy. Basically, you know, eating one of these oil tokens. Yeah, maybe that's what we have to do. It'll stop him getting the next poison token. Okay, I'm going to Bilious Skulldweller. I'm just going to try and stop him from getting corrupted this turn. Okay, Swamp. Yeah. That gets flying. So we're just going to sort of use this removal spell tactically. And do that one. It sort of doesn't matter what I kill because whatever I kill is coming back with Skull Bomb anyway. That's my reasoning there. Now we've got 5 mana for next turn, so we can play and equip this next turn. So we play the Head Cleaver this turn. It's as simple as that. Now the question here is, do I start attacking on the ground? If I attack with everything, he attacks. He can swing back 6 damage and get to Corrupted. Except I'll have this blocker to stop Slaughter Singer. I think this is my chance to attack. Hold back the Skulldweller though. I don't think it's worth attacking with that. And yeah, he'll bring back his Fleshless Gladiator. No, I think I want to get through with as much as possible. Skulldweller's going in. There's nothing we can do about the fleshless gladiator. We just have to suck it up. He's going to get a favourable trade somewhere. Oh, he's going to trade there. Because I'm thinking he's got one more orc token. He could get corrupted by giving this flying. Fair enough, okay. 5 damage through. I get a might. And we get head cleaver. And he wants to raise dead the Skitterfang. That makes a huge amount of sense, actually. Then he'll get this through, get corrupted, and he can bring this guy back as well. But yeah, that is, of course, sorcery speed. I thought it was instant for a second. He's going to play the Siphoner. He's only got enough mana to do that. Right. So do have Infectious Inquiry, but okay. The name of the game here, we want to trade up. The Might is going to get equipped with Flesh Cutter, so we can't just get a free block on the Might. It means Ambassador is just going to get traded off, but we're okay with that. We're okay with that. So Flesh Cutter. That's nice. He goes to 3-2. Equip that to the Might. Swing in with everything. That gets to 4-3 as well. So this is, I believe, Toxic 2. Might's Toxic 1, of course. That's the obvious trade. Ambassador for Siphoner. It's a good trade. We get him to 3 poison, which is nice. We go back up to 20 life as well. It's good having a Justiciar. Yeah, he gets me to Corrupted. He can bring this back tapped now. He's got the Atraxa as well. Skitterfang. He could have played that and given this lifelink. But he's got 2 other cards. He's got 6 mana. He doesn't do anything. Okay, so something at instant speed we're expecting. I think we'll do Infectious Inquiry now. Just to see if we get any instants. But that for the combat phase. Okay, that's all right. We will attack. We of course could put more life points on that, but we're not going to. Now something's going to happen. He has a response. Charge of the Mights on my Might. Good. That was a good Might. Soaked up a removal spell. That's getting removed as well because he's got his poison up. So yeah, those were his 2 cards, two instant speed removal spells. We get him to 3 life and 5 poison. We've got Crawling Chorus. He's got swamps in his deck. He can make me discard something, so I'll hold a swamp and end the turn, and we'll hold removal for removing a blocker. Skitterfang. Could give that lifelink and swing in. Go up to 5 life. That's exactly what he's doing. No. Okay, he only gets that till end of turn. Right. Cleansing Raptor can give something flying. So, yeah, we're looking at the 1/1s here. We need to get the 1/1s through. So let's Raptor. Yeah. Nice. Very nice. Target today is 5 wins. I think we're up to 4 wins. Which is very nice. This is, though, usually this is where it all falls apart. You kind of get into sealed hell queue around about 4 wins. We're going to do a little PC health check. Okay, it's at 60 degrees, 59 degrees, 58 degrees. I'm going to have another little break. I'm going to let it cool down there and not push my luck. Right, yeah, thanks again for watching this far. Okay, and we're back after that little break. CPU is at 37, 36, so it looks fine, and hopefully we'll be able to finish it in one more session. I think I've got a bit of a time limit as well. I want to finish it in less. Potentially, we've got 4 more games, and we've got to do them in 50 minutes. Which, I mean, it's an aggressive deck, so hopefully we either win quickly or lose quickly. Right, here we have a Death Toucher, 2 removal spells we can cast. I think we keep this. Obviously, it's a 2-lander and there are no planes, which is not ideal. But we've got 3 cards we can cast, and those can just keep us in the game whilst we try and draw a planes. So I think it's reasonable. Turn 1, Toxic Death Touch is pretty good. No planes. We can probably almost get him to Corrupted just by taking out his blockers. Oh wow, interesting card, Norn's Wellspring. So yeah, this gets an oil counter every time a creature dies, and you scry 1 when yeah, remove 2 oil counters to draw a card. Very interesting card, but it's also, you know, a long-term investment, and I'm going to just try and run over him with my 1 creature because I did not draw a land again. But there we go. Well, this is my first land drop that I've missed. Oh damn. He has a 1-drop and maybe a 2-drop as well. Drown in Ica is sorcery speed. Anoint with Affliction is instant speed. I've got to decide here. Do I want to waste my Anoint with Affliction on this guy? When he dies, also this exile, so I think this might stop him getting a might, and that'll stop him getting a token there. I'm gonna do it. I want to get him to Corrupted. That's the idea. Or force him to use removal on my 1/1. beautiful. We actually hit a plains. That's fantastic. And I couldn't be happier. We can... we'll see if this gets to corrupt him. He might have instant removal. I feel like he does. Yeah. Yeah. That's fair enough. That's fair enough. And we'll go with... we could go with another toxic. I think we'll play the 3 mana creature here. It's flying. Can soak up another removal, and then maybe we can sneak in another toxic creature. Okay. We also have Charge of the Mites. That could make 2 mites. Because potentially we hit a land and we can double spell. We can duelist and drown in Ica. Seems like it's, you know, wasting a good removal spell, but we do have a couple more in the hand. So we maybe can just use this for creatures. Okay, he got that guy. And yeah, I think I'm going to go for it. I'm going to hold up Charge of the Mites, play it at the end of his turn. And then I should get him to Corrupted. 2 cards left. If he's heavy on removal, he will not want to remove 2 1/1s. We get him to 4. Nice. So, the Gladiator's pretty cool because it comes back if he kills them, if he kills it. So I think I'd rather do that than the Duelist. And then we can sacrifice it with Annihilating Glare as well and play the Duelist, so we can still double spell on 3 mana next turn. Well, that's just worked out pretty nicely. Drown in Ica is -4/-4, so that's just shaped. That's the right shape of removal for this guy. And we can also do the Jawbone Duelist as well. He gets a token on that. We swing in. Gets to 7 poison. And will threaten lethal with a Jawbone Duelist. And he needs the board sweeper here. White Sun's Twilight would do it, would win the game for him. But he does have removal. Okay. Okay, we are going to sacrifice Jawbone Duelist. Like that. He gets a Might and a token, so he can draw a card off that. We can play Swamp, we can play the Head Cleaver. We'll get him to 9 poison and 8 life. Potentially we should just hold this back in case he does have the sweeper. Cool. I think we just hit 5 wins, so that was our target. We might, if we can finish this, I will play this to the end. and hopefully I can finish in before 4 o'clock, and we can start a new one as well. So that's pretty nice. 5 wins. Yeah, it's gonna be enough. We're on 420 gems right now. $43 minutes left for potentially 3 more games. I'm not even going to look at the CPU temperature. I'm just going to go for it. I'll just risk it. Okay, this we're going to start at 3 mana. We've got 3 lands. That's quite good. We're on the draw. Hit the 4th land, so that's we can do a turn 4 Necro Titan if we want. We do like to see our card draw spell. He didn't have a 2-drop. Oh, he's got a really good card, Brass Forge. So we're on a bit of a timer here. Does this do? So unfortunately, the ability on this is a trigger. It's not an activated ability. So that I don't think we have an answer to this, unfortunately. I'm going to play a Swamp here. I'm going to play the Stinging Hive Master, who's not... Yeah, this thing's going to be a 2-1. So he's 3 colours, red, green, black. He's got the Vorak. Oh, and that's going to get Annihilating Glare. Yeah, that's a very nice turn 4 for him. Right, we could sack our Might and go Necro Titan, and then at least we can block this thing. Because we're taking, at the moment, we're taking 6 damage next turn. That's a little bit unpleasant for us. If we want our aggressive option, if we want to race them, we've got Raptor. Swing for 2 and give him a poison counter. Threaten to give him get corrupted corrupted next turn. And then after that attack resolves, we could... Oh, no, that's Clutch your Planewalker. We could Annihilating Glare, kill the Vorak, and that just keeps the damage reasonable. Yeah, that's sort of a good combination of aggression and preserving my life total. But it means we aren't threatening to get corrupted next turn. Obviously, we want to play this at corrupted, but we do have Infectious Inquiry. No, I think, yeah, we're going to try and preserve our life total as much as we can. So let's sacrifice the Might here. Because potentially we still have corrupted with Infectious Inquiry. Okay, that seems bad. I don't know exactly what this does. 2/3 makes a 1/1. Move through all counters you can... Oh yes, it's a kind of a card advantage thing. Okay. Right, so we have... So this is hitting for 2 every turn. We could try and block that. This is costing me 2 life, which is not ideal. I'm going to swing in like this. Get him to 2. Infectious Inquiry gets him to Corrupted. Oh, Anoint with Affliction. Only exiles creatures. I think... So this stops 2 damage a turn. That just chomp blocks. That also stops 2 damage a turn, but it exiles anything, any creature. So, yeah, in terms of preserving the life total, we'll just disruption that. And we're taking how much? 6 damage this turn, so we're kind of dead next turn. Oh, and that pumps for 3. Oh no. Oh no. That's a lot of damage. That's a 4-1. That's 9 damage. Almost dead. That's shot out the sky as well. Okay. Fair enough. Life Linker, that could help. Necro Titan is a good blocker at this stage. Justiciar is a life linker, which is quite helpful. This thing has trample, doesn't it? And yeah, we're going to block it and potentially run into a burn spell or a pump spell. But we obviously cannot... there we go, Tyvar Stand. Good game. Just gets through and kills me, in fact. The turn 3 Urabras Forge is pretty threatening. Especially with the amount of follow-up he had there. That was brutal. Okay, but it's a nice quick game. We like nice quick games. We've got 35 minutes left. Potentially 2 more games. We've got double black. We've got 1 removal spell. Opponent goes first, so we're drawing an extra card. The white cards are pretty good. We could risk it. But we are on 2 losses. I think we can have a shot at another hand here. Usually I'd keep a 2-lander where I'm on the draw, but yeah. Now we get a June mover. Perfect. Right, we'll keep this. I'm even tempted to put a plains back because we can put a swamp on top. Yeah, and keep our sort of aggro roll out. We can't play our 1-drop, but never mind. We can't have everything. But yeah, glad I mulliganed, I think. Blue-white, maybe artifacts. Let's get the June mover and get the swamp. Oh god, he's got the Serra Angel combo, so this is now a 4/4 flying vigilance. June mover, no blocks, I think. But we've got Drowning Ica here. That's going to... And we can... Okay, yeah, we can do that on his Retrofitter. Obviously, that gives him a card if we kill that. But also we take out the flyer. Proliferate. Just thinking, we want to get a poison thing in. I think we let's preserve the life total here. Let's drown Inika on this. And don't want to trade with the Watcher particularly. No attacks. I think I do want to stop him getting to 3 poisons, so this I will trade now. But yeah, not a great start for me here. Got the Flensing Raptor. So I can play out a couple of things. We will not... Okay, we've got nothing good... Oh no, okay, we have one good thing to block a Might, which is the Gladiator. So we'll have to go for the Gladiator here, because we don't want to trade Ambassador or the Death Toucher. Now we've got the flyer. I think I can take another point of damage. I want to build up the board a little bit and play the 2 creatures, even though this is going to be vulnerable if I do that. But we don't have the luxury of playing this with mana open. So if he uses a removal on it, then fair enough. We'll just have to take it on the chin. Oh my god, what is that? Mondrak, Glory Dominus, 2 white and 2 for a 4/4. If 1 or more tokens will be created under your control, twice that many of those tokens are created instead. Sacrifice 2 other artifacts and or creatures. Put an indestructible counter on the Dominus. Okay. Problem. Artifacts or creatures. He needs 1 mana open. We don't... But we are lacking a removal spell, sadly. Got this Death Toucher to block him with. So we don't... right. We probably don't want to play the Raptor yet, because we kind of want to send that in. We could do Crawling Chorus and Infested Flesh Cutter. Yes. Okay, let's do that. Crawling Chorus and the Flesh Cutter. We need to keep this back on defense now. And no attacks. So, you don't see too many of these artifact decks. This seems like a pretty good one. It's got the Mondrak, the Malcator's Watcher, kind of does the job. So, what we do here is 2/2 blocks the 1/1, Death Toucher blocks the 4/4. Seems reasonable to me. We'll see if he wants to make this indestructible. So that's going to use its last oil token. I think that's getting sacrificed somehow. Yeah. There we go. I mean, that's a trade. Death Toucher for 2 of his creatures. I think Gladiator is up. He'll be the chump blocker for this turn, and we could equip this as well. That is another thing. But I like the idea of the Raptor getting in play, so we can at least block his flyer. That gets pumped up. And that's going in. Okay, a block. Just blocking, drawing a card. Good. Slows down the poison. He gets another big creature. And he gets 2 creatures because of this chappie. Okay, I think I'm okay stopping 4 damage with this guy. Yeah, we're not having too much luck at the moment with the with finding stuff, finding lands. Lands would help here. We can... Right, so the next guy up to jump block is the Crawling Chorus. He can't attack this turn. Unless... Well, I could equip that so he's a 3-1. He's actually got 10 damage on the board here, so we've got to be slightly careful. I want to... The aggressive thing is to equip Flesh Cutter. I want to do that. The defensive thing would be playing Hive Master. Can I get away with that? I'm going to go for it. I want to make my little mites. Okay, 4-3. So, chomp block here. We could take 6. This, we don't want to waste the indestructible token, particularly. But if we just trade here, this might can get through. We can get to corrupted. Yeah, okay, I'm going to take the trade here. I just don't have the mana to make him indestructible. That's my bad luck. And we'll see. Wait, he might have... he's got a follow-up blocker. He's got a follow-up blocker, but never mind. And another creature. Okay. Well, we hit our 4th land, and that's probably a little bit too late, to be honest, but... this guy will eat up one of my mites anyway. I'm looking at 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 damage on his side of the board. Mites can't block. They sort of might as well attack in a way. This guy, we're not going to get him to corrupted, but we might do. But this guy could block Mondrak. If we only have 1 blocker, then these guys are guaranteed getting through. So that's 5 damage. I can only possibly play 1 creature. This is probably really stupid, but I'm going to attack with everything. But it means potentially I get to corrupted and get a decent-sized blocker. What am I missing here? He's got a Mirren Bardiche, so he can make that 6 power. That's annoying. I've just only just realised that. It does cost him a lot of mana to do that, but I'm gonna go in anyway. Fingers crossed. Let's hope for the best. But he's gonna get corrupted. So there's an I think because he can equip that, make it 6 power. I'm going to have to chump block. So I'm going to have to put out my weakest creature, which is the Hive Master, and try not to die this turn. Ah, yeah, this is the point. He just puts it on a different creature. Just puts it on a different creature and I die. So I have to stop the 6 damage there, and it's 8. Exactly 8. Yeah, that's... I had a bit of threat blindness there. Even if I played this, yeah, I couldn't put. Okay, I could. I just shouldn't have attacked with a raptor, because then that's the only way to survive this turn. Well, I'm pretty happy because we got through an entire event without my machine crashing, which is definitely something. It's definitely progress. I think I've hit my target of 5 wins. I hope I'm right about that. It's 1600. Yeah, we've still got 22 minutes, I think. I'll just quickly go over the deck. Right. So I've noticed. I've played Orzhov, kind of an Orzhov aggro deck like this before in Sealed. Tends to happen when, well, if you got the right cards for it, and maybe the rares are a bit uninspiring in other colours, because maybe this is a good deck even without rares. It doesn't need a lift from from bombs, I suppose. But what? Let's see. What were the key? If we look at the quick look at the rares, basically, Geth just doesn't work in this deck because I've got loads of 1 toughness creatures. It's just unplayable. And it was red was really strong, but blue and green were kind of weak, so I couldn't play these. I was thinking about red, but red just didn't have enough 2-drop creatures, and white had all the 2-drop creatures, so and an infested flesh cutter. So it made sense to pair black up with white. Then you've got all the toxic things. Red and black together don't mix that well, because you don't have any toxic things in red. And also it means I can put 7 removal in the deck. There's 4 black removal and 3 white removal cards, so we can take out the roadblocks and get through with our little creatures. So we just it seemed to make sense. And yeah, we tried out this Ravenous Necrotitan. We had a couple, and yeah, pretty good creature. It's just figuring out how to play it. It's how to get to corrupted and then play it. It was interesting sometimes. Yeah, decent deck. I will claim prize there. There we go, 1600. And I think that is a video. So thanks for watching. And yeah, I've got 18 minutes left to sign up. We've timed it perfectly, so I've still got a chance for my 9th sealed, but bonus sealed. Yeah, so that's it. Thanks for watching.